By September of 1776, the British were in control of New York, and a recently defeated General Washington was in despair how he might rekindle the Patriot cause. After consulting with his aides, it was clear only one option remained, but it was a long shot at best. The revolutionaries needed to take the airports. We awoke to a most curious sight. High in the sky above us were a dozen or more dirigibles, all captained, it seemed to us, by ladies, arrayed in their holiday finest out for a summer jaunt to some nearby spot for a picnic. The Battle of LaGuardia began with a daring ruse. Washington sent 15 airships, newly christened blimps, which were launched just before dawn into a clear sky and set towards the control tower at LaGuardia. They were piloted by soldiers dressed as women off to a picnic. The redcoats will be so bamboozled into thinking that women in gaily colored attire are going for a picnic, Washington wrote. They won't for a moment suspect an attack. The plan worked. As the airships sailed quietly by, a British private caught a strange flash of something metal in the last airship. Looking closely, he saw what it was. A bayonet. The British sounded the alarm and hastily assembled their artillery. But it was too late. They fired a volley, but by now the rebels were too far away and the cannonballs fell harmlessly before the airships. The Patriots were now behind British lines. The blimps pulled near to the control towers, and before any British soldiers knew what was happening, the Americans removed their corsets and petticoats, revealing uniforms of the 2nd Massachusetts Blimp Division. They quickly swung from cables suspended to their blimps and broke the glass of the control tower, landing within the tower in a move one Englishman remembered as reminiscent of something from a Die Hard movie, a film that wouldn't come out for another 200+ years. The Americans now controlled the tower, and they never fired a shot. On the ground, Washington and his men slowly marched their way through the airport. The heaviest fighting was on Concourse B between Sparrow and the Sunglasses Hut. We rose from behind the counter and were met with such a volley of musketry, the likes of which I had yet to encounter in battle. All fell back. Some took shelter behind the cash register, others behind the soda machine. When the foul smoke of the enemy guns began to clear, I had occasion to glimpse my waistcoat covered in blood below the chest. In panic despair, I undid the garment to survey how bad the wound. You can imagine my elation when I discovered I was not shot through, but rather covered in marinara sauce. Private Noah Hastings, 2nd Delaware. Hastings and his unit battled back as Washington and his men continued through the airport, catching the surprised redcoats at every turn. Customs. Baggage claim. Froyo world. The tired and demoralized British soon surrendered. The Americans controlled the airport, and with it, the 18th century skies.